If there's one game that mainlined most of our childhood, it had to have been Minecraft. For a lot of us, Minecraft was like our introduction into gaming. I know it was one of the first games I ever played besides Lego Star Wars DS. Lego Star Wars on the DS could do no wrong. If I ever hear anybody talking shit about that game, I will literally fight you. It's the most popular game ever made, if I'm not mistaken. I can Google it right now. It's second place after fucking Fortnite. That says a lot about our culture, honestly. Despite Minecraft's popularity, although when I was a kid I did get suckered into playing it and I loved it back then, the older I become, the more I realize Minecraft isn't really that great. But commonly, you may be asking yourself, didn't you just show that it's one of the most popular games ever made? Not only is it one of the most popular games ever made, but it has one of the largest communities and tons of YouTubers play it. And to that I say, if there were 100 people jumping off a cliff, would you do it too? Honestly, you probably would. I don't know why I just asked that question. Now, I'm not saying Minecraft is the worst game ever made. I'm just saying that there's a problem with it that I've been experiencing the more I play it recently. And this video's whole purpose is to point out that problem and talk about it a little bit. Even though nobody asked, but I don't care. I have work tomorrow and I can't sleep, so here we are. I absolutely love open world crafting games. They are by far my favorite genre ever. Them being my favorite genre, I have quite experience with these kind of games and what I personally enjoy in each one. So, in order to talk about this, I'm gonna use two games as an example to show what I'm talking about. My mouth is so fucking dry. I need water. And since we're on a water break, I can think of no better time to remind you to subscribe. Look, it's 100% free. Who doesn't love free stuff? And you get to spend more time with me, everybody's favorite deranged lunatic who spends all of his time drinking coffee and ranting about stuff that doesn't matter at all. Wouldn't you absolutely love to spend more time with me? Subscribe and you can. Just hit that subscribe button. It's literally right below. It's right there. Just press it. Alright, good. I'm gonna continue on with this video. The two games that I will be talking about is Terraria and Valheim. Both of them are open world survivor games and both of them are compared to Minecraft quite a bit. I believe that it's perfectly fair to compare Minecraft to these games. Even though Minecraft came out in 2011 and these games are more recent, Minecraft does get a steady stream of updates every year, so I figure it's just fine to compare it to these newer games. And also, I do ask that you take off your nostalgia glasses. This game was released in 2011. Most of the people that are playing this game now that were playing it then have families and kids. We're gonna look at this from a completely subjective standpoint. We're not looking at it as it was my childhood, nothing like that. And also remember, I am talking about one problem I have with the game. I still think Minecraft is a perfectly fine game. This is just one big problem I have with it. Now, with all that out of the way, let's give a very quick explanation of what Minecraft is. Minecraft is a game that's all about imagination, where there's really no story except for there is, because there's like a bunch of lore that nobody really cares about, I think. I think Game Theory made a couple videos on the lore of Minecraft, but outside of him, I don't really see anybody else talking about it. So I'm not gonna include that in this video. I'm just mentioning it so people don't think I don't know what it is. The only kind of story that Minecraft has is kill the Ender Dragon. You don't know why you want to kill this thing, you just know you're supposed to do it. So everything you do in Minecraft is building up to killing this one boss. There is one side boss called the Wither, very hard to beat. I remember the first time I ever fought this thing, it kicked my ass 3 ways to Sunday, but I should mention, all of these bosses are completely optional. You could play the entire game and never fight one. In fact, as far as I know, the game never flat out tells you that the Wither is a boss. The way I find out was watching a YouTube tutorial. I'm just throwing that out there, that's gonna be important later. As you play Minecraft, you start out pretty weak, but over time you become the apex predator. You get to a point where nothing can really stand a chance against you. You can even enslave villagers, put them in your house, force them to do work for you, and if they don't give you what you want, you kill them. You effectively, for all intensive purposes, become a god. And by that point, the optional bosses really aren't even a threat to you anyway, so there's no point on playing once you get to that point. Other than working on your Minecraft house no one's gonna see because you play this by yourself after work at 3 a.m. I know you do it because I do it. Minecraft has a great assortment of items, literally thousands. The possibilities for what you can build in this game is literally endless. There's potions that kind of operate a little bit like magic. There's an armor progression system that's about as simple as tofu. Honestly, it's just find iron, find netherite, find diamonds, and you've completed the game. There are enchantments which are actually genuinely useful for like the end game if you're actually gonna fight one of the two bosses. And I stand by that. I don't know why you need an Unbreaking 3 sword to fight zombies. Like, are you serious? And then there's mining, which I will admit is genuinely satisfying if you have nothing to do. It's raining outside, you just want to sit inside. And then there's the combat. That's only fun if you're in PvP. Fighting ordinary zombies is about as fun as watching paint dry. I stand by that, and there's really nothing interesting outside of that when it comes to the combat at all. Overall, it's an incredibly simple game. Not a whole lot going on. I'm sure if you talk to someone who's a massive fan, they'll tell you there's more. There's really not. And that's pretty much how I would describe Minecraft. It's really not that much of a complex game. Even though it is backed by a multi-billion-dollar company, it still feels like a very basic, simple game, which we will come back to later. All of this will make sense in a couple minutes. I just need to get there. Now, to begin to start making my point on why Minecraft has a big problem, I want to talk about Terraria. Terraria and Minecraft are often compared to each other. Some people call Terraria 2D Minecraft, which should honestly make you very scared for the schooling system. The people who say that are going to be the doctors of tomorrow. We should start doing something about this now. Terraria is a shining beacon in the darkness of gaming. The sheer amount of content that this game has, the sheer amount of love and attention that this game has, the amount of game that this game has, it's truly something you've never seen. You can play Terraria 100, 1 billion different times, and every time it feels so incredibly different. Tons of different types of ore, tons of different types of biomes. Literally, you could explore this game forever. And don't even get me started on the enemies. The amount of varying antagonists in this game is literally incredible. As of right now, I have almost 100 hours in the game. I haven't even seen every single enemy that there is. Exploring never gets boring because you never know if you're gonna run into a new enemy you've never seen before. Not only that, but the weapon progression is absolutely incredible. I don't really want to spoil anything because I genuinely feel like you should check out Terraria if you haven't already. I almost never played it because I thought it looked boring. Now it is by far one of the games that I play all the time. You can make some really crazy stuff in this game, and you'll feel like the most powerful person on the map. Keyword feel. In this game, you are never the most powerful person until the very end. Terraria is known for its many bosses. Bosses that will destroy you in an instant. You are never the strongest thing around, and you get to fight these bosses, and it is so satisfying whenever you defeat one. Not only do you get special items from these bosses, but you get a great sense of accomplishment every single time you see one of them die. The hours you put in going deep and fighting new enemies. Learning how to use, I will admit, Terraria's very complicated item system. I mean, the crafting in this game is kind of absurd. Honestly, it's worth it to learn because there's so many items. But yes, I will get my dick out of Terraria's mouth for a few minutes, and I will say the crafting could be a little bit simpler. It's really annoying having the game open on one window and then the wiki open on another to find out that I can't actually craft bombs and I have to buy them from the guy. I don't know, but that's not the point of this video. This video is not making fun of the best game ever, Terraria. The point is, this game has so much content that every single time you play, there's so many different things to do, you are never bored, and you have an objective. Terraria takes the crafting of Minecraft and the items of Minecraft and improves it in every single way. And on top of that, gives you things to do. I don't know if you guys are starting to realize my problem with Minecraft yet. If you still haven't figured it out, let's move on to Valheim. Valheim is again an open world crafting survival game where you are given an objective, but you don't necessarily have to do it at all. You can just exist in the world and do whatever you want, just like Minecraft and Terraria. But the way Valheim gets you to want to explore is the world looks like this. This game is absolutely stunning. Staring into the stars in this game can take your breath away, let alone looking at the sunset. You are never not curious about what's lying over the next hill. You want to explore, you want to see more, you want to know what's behind the bend. But this game does not make it easy to explore. In fact, In order to explore, you have to defeat a boss. The game almost forces you to do something, and then from there gives you an objective that is subconsciously given to you. And what is that objective? Explore the world, find the next boss, and see what he allows you to explore. Each boss drops something that makes it a little easier for you to look around or access areas that were previously inaccessible to you. Again, I don't want to spoil this game, but I will tell you this. The first boss drops antlers that allows you to make a pickaxe, that allows you to get copper, that allows you to sail. And from there, you explore the world on your own adventure. So you explore the world. Maybe you encounter an enemy that's 2 stars and it's too hard to kill. So you have to head home, craft better weapons, and head back out. There's also super cool weapon variety. You can craft your build to whatever you want it to be. Combine that with the food system that allows you to combine foods and cook different foods so you can get different stamina levels or health levels. Honestly, this game is so in-depth and fun. I don't think you could play it 100 times and it'd be different every single time, but you could play it just for the building. I mean, this is what I built in my world. Look at this. This just looks more satisfying than Minecraft. Unless you add shaders, you are not getting this experience out of Minecraft. Another thing about Valheim is the same thing about Terraria. You never feel like the most powerful thing in the entire world. It doesn't matter how good your armor becomes. It doesn't matter how much you upgrade your weapons. There is always something, if you're not careful, that'll eradicate you in 1 or 2 shots. You never feel like an untouchable, unstoppable god, and you never feel like there's nothing to do, which is exactly my problem with Minecraft. In the beginning of Minecraft, sure, you are very helpless. You're digging holes in the ground so you can stay underground all night long. Your heart starts to race every single time you see the sun start to go down. You take a sigh of relief whenever you see a village, but that's at the very beginning of the game, like the first 20 hours of your playthrough. After that, you are virtually a god. There is not a damn thing in the world that can test you. Nothing can harm you, nothing can even get close to you. You have a mega base that is so big and vast with tons of systems, there's no point anymore. It goes from a creeper blew up a portion of your house being a really big deal because now you have nowhere to stay, to being a mild inconvenience because you live in a super mansion with thousands of rooms. There's no more sense of excitement because there's nothing stronger than you in your entire save. Don't act like this has never happened. You spawn in the Wither for fun because you don't have anything to kill. Who else has done that? I have a pretty good guess that most of everybody who plays Minecraft has made it to that point in your game. Nothing can stop you, nothing can harm you, nothing can challenge you, and there's nothing to do. You are in a gigantic, endless world with nothing in it but you. There's not a variety of bosses that you can fight and unlock new things that will force you to improve in the game. There is nothing like that. You don't have to explore unless you want to. Just about everything you would need is on the continent you spawn on. You are just roaming around this endless world trying to give yourself meaning. Sure, you can make your meaning enslaving villagers and making them give you stuff, but that plays a lot into what I was talking about just being a fucking god, being the most powerful thing in existence. You are enslaving the only other sentient, intelligent beings in the world. At what point in Minecraft are you just so strong that it's just completely unfun? I know what you're probably thinking. You should just mod the game, add stuff to it. I shouldn't have to add stuff to a game to make it interesting. The game should already be interesting. It is owned by a multi-billion-dollar company. You're telling me that they cannot add more content to a game that's been around for longer than a decade and make it interesting? The mob vote is a joke. They add one new mob. This game has been virtually the same game since launch. While every single other games, Roblox for God's sake, is improving, Minecraft is entirely relying on the community to make it an interesting game. There's no reason why you should play Minecraft and within the first 20 to 30 hours be at the point where you are enslaving sentience and live in a gigantic house and you are the most unstoppable thing in the entire universe. It's not a game, it's a god simulator. It sucks so much ass when you eventually go fight the Ender Dragon and he is such a pushover because you are a god. You are already stronger than it. They added in the wardens, you don't even have to fight them. And if you do, it's not that hard to kill them, trap them and beat them. My problem with Minecraft is that it is unapologetically boring. For a game of this scale, with this kind of company behind it, there is no reason why it should be like this. And that's pretty much all I gotta say. There's nothing else to say. Minecraft is quite literally a god simulator. It's quite literally what would happen if you were a demigod dropped into a world filled with people weaker than you. I hope Minecraft adds new bosses. I hope it makes the world more fun to explore by adding new enemies and new NPCs and new mobs. Do that. Make the game fun to be in. Don't make yourself a god. Be a part of the world. There is no reason why you should feel so different to everything else, unless the game is meant to feel that way like in Valheim. Well, that's pretty much all I gotta say about that. I'll see you in the next one.